The Titanic was a huge ship. It was a dream of the White Star Line. It was built in Belfast, Ireland. The Harland and Wolff Company built it. Thousands of workers helped make it. They worked very hard for many years. It was a very big and difficult job. The ship was truly massive in size, a true giant of the ocean. Building the Titanic took great skill. First they laid the enormous keel, then the giant steel frame went up. Strong steel plates formed the sides. Millions of rivets held them all together. The shipyard was a very noisy place, full of sound and busy workers. It was an amazing new kind of ship, a real wonder of its modern time. The Titanic was launched in the year 1911. This important day was May 31st. A very large crowd gathered to watch. The giant ship slid into the River Lagan. But the ship was not completely finished yet. It still needed much more work inside. The powerful engines and funnels came next, and all the luxurious rooms were fitted. It was a slow and careful process. The final work took many more months. The inside of the ship became beautiful. It had the newest technology too. Many people called it unsinkable. This strong belief made them feel very safe. The ship was so strong and very large, it was almost ready for its first sea journey. Important sea trials would test its power. Everyone waited for its first voyage. The Titanic was much more than just a ship. It was often called a floating palace. It was carefully built for great luxury. It was designed for very rich people, but it also carried many other passengers. Many hopeful immigrants sailed on it too. They dreamed of starting new lives. It was truly a ship of big dreams, a symbol of hope for so many. Its incredible size was very impressive. It was the world's biggest ship at that time. It was longer than 3 large football fields. It stood as tall as a city building. It had very strong and powerful engines. These amazing engines made it quite fast. It could cross the wide Atlantic Ocean quickly. A true giant of the sea in every way. Nothing else was quite like it. The luxury found inside was simply amazing. It had a famous grand staircase. The dining rooms were very fancy and large. There was even a heated swimming pool and a gymnasium for passengers to exercise. First-class rooms were like grand hotel suites. Beautiful decorations were seen everywhere. Everything was designed to be first class. It offered the best of everything. The Titanic also had new safety ideas. It featured special watertight compartments. These compartments could seal off any water. This clever design was very advanced. It made people feel extremely secure. They strongly believed it could not sink. The unsinkable idea was very strong then, but this belief would soon face tragedy. A hard lesson was about to be learned. The Titanic's very first trip finally began. The date was April 10th in the year 1912. It sailed from Southampton in England. Many excited people came to watch it leave. Everyone in the crowd was very excited. The huge ship looked so grand and proud. It was a proud day for its skilled builders, and also for the famous White Star Line. A new chapter in sea travel started. Life in first class was truly wonderful. These passengers ate the finest food. They went to many elegant parties. They enjoyed walks on the wide open decks. Personal servants helped them with everything. It was a comfortable life of pure ease. Lovely music often played for them. It was pure luxury on the vast ocean, a journey unlike any other before. Second class on Titanic was also comfortable. Their cabins were very nice and clean. They had their own pleasant dining areas. They also had a library for reading and plenty of space on the boat deck. Third class conditions were much more simple, but it was better than on many other ships. These passengers dreamed of life in America. They were full of hope for the future. The first few days of the voyage were peaceful. The great ship sailed smoothly on the water. The wide Atlantic Ocean was very calm. All passengers felt happy and quite safe. They quickly settled into daily ship life. The weather during these days was good. No one knew what terrible event was coming. The danger was still hidden far away. The calm sea gave no warning. Then suddenly disaster came in the night. It happened on April 14th in the year 1912. The dark sea was black and unusually still. The huge ship was moving very fast. The ship's lookouts finally saw an iceberg. But sadly, it was already too late. The giant ship hit the massive iceberg. It scraped hard along the ship's starboard side. A fatal blow to the magnificent vessel. The iceberg cut deep into the ship. Cold seawater rushed in below the waterline. 5 of the watertight compartments began flooding. The ship was designed to float with 4 flooded, but 5 flooded compartments was too many. The supposedly unsinkable ship was doomed. People on board started to worry greatly. A terrible fear began to grow slowly. The unthinkable was happening. There were not nearly enough lifeboats, not enough for everyone on board the ship. This was a truly terrible and fatal problem. Women and children were ordered in first, but the entire process was very chaotic. Many of the lifeboats left half full. The great ship sank into the sea so fast. Over 1,500 people lost their lives there. It was a night of horror and loss. The whole world was completely shocked. The Titanic disaster was a huge tragedy. It led to important new safety rules for ships. All ships then needed many more lifeboats. Radio communication at sea became much better. An international ice patrol was also started. We learned a very hard and sad lesson. No ship, no matter how grand, is ever unsinkable. The story of Titanic still moves us today.